What's up everybody? So Spawn has been released and he's available if you have access to the Kombat pack. Now this video is going to be a breakdown as to like what Spawn is, what kind of character is he, and if he's your type. So he's got three different variations. His first variation, which is called From Hell, features a low parry and it features some moves that control space, like he has his upward gun, straight gunshot. His second variation, which is the one that this video is primarily going to be covering because this is the one I put the most time into, is called the One, and this, in my opinion, is the variation that complements Spawn's main kit and base set the best over other characters. And then his third variation is Hellspawn, which gives you access to a command throw, a stance with unique normals, and so on. So, getting into Spawn, what is he? What is his character type? Like, how does he play? In my opinion, the closest character to compare Spawn to is Cetrion. He is like Cetrion in terms of the footsies aspect, the space control, the moves with no hurt boxes. Like, he's got so many moves that just, they don't have hurt boxes. He can kind of throw them out there. They occupy space. Your opponent runs into them. The reason why I prefer this variation the most, called the One, is because he has this move, this charging move, and if you meet a burn this, get to launch your opponent and go into a full combo. And being able to get a full combo off any of these disjointed hitboxes he throws out that don't have any hurt boxes at the end is huge, because like I said, you can convert off pretty much any hit and then get a full combo, and you can choose to either end the combo, knock them back, or go into his restand. Now, he is similar to Cetrion in that he's a very good footsie character. He's playing footsies, he's got all these buttons with no hurt boxes. He's similar to Cetrion. The only parts that aren't similar to Cetrion is, even though he has like that wall playstyle and the good ground movement with Cetrion, like, he's even a character that has a good block dashing. Like, look, his backwards block dashing is very similar to Cetrion. Like, he can just move, and he, like I said, he, in my opinion, is the closest to Cetrion. He doesn't have as good as an anti-air as Cetrion. Cetrion, of course, has the best anti-air standing jab in the game. Spawn doesn't share that property. His best anti-air happens to be a standing one. Out of all the moves he has, this is his best anti-air, because in this variation, if somebody jumps, you can do an anti-air jab and then down one, and then go into a full combo by doing his unique variation move, this move, and then you get a full combo for anti-airing. So he has that. That is his best anti-air. If you're looking to anti-air with him, his standing one is the best. His down two is pretty average. All his other anti-airs are pretty average. The only other anti-air worth mentioning is his standing three. This is a great anti-air if somebody is not jumping directly at you. And what I mean by that is, if somebody is jumping to hit you with like a jump kick, it's not a good anti-air. But if somebody is jumping from out of position, like back here, from range, it is an amazing anti-air to just counter pretty much every jumping. So he's got a very good anti-air when your opponent is not jumping directly at you. Aside from that, you're going to mainly want to use the standing one because that's his best, and in this variation you're able to convert off it. So getting back into Spawn's like playstyle, he's got so many normals. Back one, 13 frame mid, no hurt box, very good mid to set up, especially if you restand your opponent, because let's say you do any combo. I'll do this. Restand, if you restand your opponent after, Spawn is actually +4. He's got a restand +4. There's a little bit of space between it. Most characters, if they try to stick out a button and poke, Spawn can backdash and do back one, and that will literally eat up any button, because again, this has no hurt box, so this move would just shred through any kind of hitbox and eat it. And because he has that threat, that'll make people want to block. And unlike Cetrion, Spawn may not have as good anti-airs as Cetrion and as good zoning as her, but instead of him having zoning and anti-airs and them sharing the neutral footsie game, he has better offense than her up close. So he's got really good jabs. Like, he's got a 7-frame jab, which she doesn't have, and he's got faster pokes than her. She doesn't have a 7-frame poke like he does. So his 1-1 is extremely good. It's a stagger, +2 on block. So you can go for throw mix-ups, you can go for down 1 frame trap. This has no gap. He has a third extension, which is 1-1 back 2, which is -8 and pretty much safe against most punishes because the range, the pushback. And the cool thing is you can hold this, charge it up, and then that will give this a gap between it, but it'll make it +7 which will give you access to go for other things. So his offense is definitely better than Cetron in terms of just buttons. And yeah, basically the way you want to play him is you just want to be like very annoying on the ground. He's got a good projectile, kind of enhances annoying wall type footsie game. All these moves don't have hitboxes. You hit somebody, confirm into a combo. You can always restand people, don't have to do wake ups, and then kind of play the game. In the corner, he's great because his throw will come out in 6 frames, and if your opponent doesn't tech it, you can of course hit him with a down one, go for a stagger pressure. His pokes are very plus on hit, they're plus 15. His down 1 is plus 15, his down 3 is plus 14. Get hit by these, you have to hold the stagger pressure. His normals are great for hit confirming, like this string for example, 4-2-1. The 16 frame and advancing mid with no hurt box, it goes into low, the low is completely safe, the string is hit confirmable. And it has a little bit of pushback on block, which again, complements his style. So you want to play this lame, like mid-range game with him, this footsie game. Combine it with his movement, his ground block dashing movement. Toss in projectiles here and there, because his projectiles are actually pretty good. Like being able to meter burn this for the second hit, it's one of the faster projectiles in the game. 15 frame startup, very good. It hits people who duck block. So against some people, you can kind of get away with doing stuff like that, and just mixing up stuff like that to keep him safe. So it's definitely a good fireball to throw in strings sometimes to catch people, and the EX1 being even better because it's very safe. It's mid, it'll hit people, and yeah, like I said, Spawn is looking like he's going to be a really good character in the right hands. If you like a character playstyle similar to Cetron, the footsie aspect of Cetron, the way that she can wall you out, play footsies with these buttons that are very hard to whiff punish, very hard to trade with because they have no hurt boxes, you're going to like Spawn. The only downside is his anti-airs are not as good as a character like Cetron. His zoning is not as good as Cetron, but he kind of makes up for it because his offense is better. And he's got restands that are plus. He's got so many shimmy setups. The buttons that, like I said, his range, even his sweep is a great move. Double hitting low, -6 on block, safe. No hurt box. That's kind of like Spawn's thing, is he's fighting you with all these moves and no hurt boxes. And it's kind of annoying to fight him from your range because whenever you're throwing out buttons with characters, he can kind of clip your buttons, but when he's doing it, you can't really do the same to Spawn. So yeah, I feel Spawn right now, first impression, he's a great character, and if you like that footsie style, similar to what Cetrion has, you're going to love Spawn.